In this, our 13th year, our Bar Mitzvah year, we are commemorating our coming of age. Just like any youngster goes through his early childhood till he matures, and at his Bar Mitzvah he's ready, prepared for his future. Baruch Hashem, our Mesivta has become established, our Beis Medrash is thriving, and we're at a point where the future is very, very bright. We are very grateful to those who have invested in the Mesivta's future by making dedications, and we're simultaneously celebrating our original graduating class of 2011 that represents our beginning and represents our future. And that's really what coming of age is. We are prepared for the future, and we hope with the Siyata D'Shmaya that we've had to date, HaKadosh Baruch Hu will grant us the opportunity to continue to be mechanech boys and to provide a Makom Torah for all the Bachim to steig and grow in Torah and Yeshiva.
My wife and myself have a tremendous hakaras hatov to the Rosh HaMoised, der Moshe, soll sein gesund with his Rebbetzin, and the Yeshiva, Rabbi Yehuda Schwartz, and for having a Yeshiva which is so full of hearts and warmkeit. It's a small Yeshiva, small enough where every Talmud has his own kesher and personal shaykhs with the Yeshiva and with the Nosson and with the Moshe, and nobody gets lost in the numbers, and we just feel that our son Yankee has a tremendous aliyah and chizik every day that he is there. He learns personally with the Yeshiva at night. Wherever life will take him, he'll have a strong foundation of Torah and Yerushalayim and Midas Tovos, and we felt that it's appropriate and to show our hakaras hatov by accepting this honor.
When we were looking for a Mesivta for Yisrael, we picked the Mesivta of Clifton because we had a personal kesher with Rabbi Halberstadt, Rabbi Zaks, and I've also learned personally in a chabura downstairs in Yeshiva Gedola with Rabbi Teitz, with Rav Shachna Weinberger, with Rabbi Deckelbaum. I saw their Mesiras Nefesh for Torah, their Chashivas HaTorah. I saw their ability, their talent, and I knew that this would be the perfect Mesivta for Yisrael, with the personal attention they would give to him, and it's been proven out through the years. Now in 12th grade, Yisrael's fortunate enough, Rabbi Deckelbaum picks him up in his house in the morning with a couple of Bachrim, and they have a Chabur before davening. Yisrael Zocha to learn with Rabbi Deckelbaum after Ma'ariv, and this has been going on through the years. The Einig Shabbos is at each of the Rebbeim's house. The meals and the incentives with the Rebbeim. There's just the Rebbeim Mesivta of Clifton, they invest their heart and soul into each Bacher, into each Talmud to get the most out of them. As I see from where I am in the community now 15 years, and with a son in 12th grade and other boys, and we see how the community is thriving and growing with Balabat and professionals. There was a need for the Mesivta of Clifton with a steiging and learning, growth and learning, growing a B'nai Aliyah, but also with a strong secular studies program with my Chaver, my personal Chaver, Baruch Gopin. Need in the community now. We see how the Mesivta over the 4 years has taken off, and we hear from the incoming parents about they see what's going on, they see the growth and learning, the strong secular studies program, the midos amongst the boys, the camaraderie amongst the boys. We think the Mesivta has a very, very strong future in the community and beyond.
My son Binyamin Zev was with the Yeshiva Gedola Zichron Baruch from 9th grade through the 12th grade, and now Baruch Hashem is flourishing in the Beis Medrash under Rabbi Schwartz. The transformation that took place from the 9th grade to where he is now is beyond belief. And this is really to the credit, of course, to Binyamin Zev's diligence, his asmada, but also to the wonderful, unbelievable staff, starting from the head with Rav Moshe Halberstadt, who with his wisdom created a machine that literally takes the boy from the start, from nothing, and turns him slowly into what we see Binyamin Zev, my son, today as in the Beis Medrash. This year, Yeshiva Gedola Zichron Baruch is celebrating its 13th year of existence, with the yeshiva's unique capabilities under the leadership of Rabbi Halberstadt, with the wonderful Rebbeim and staff that it has. The yeshiva is uniquely positioned to take Bachrim from the 9th grade and bring them through the system into the Beis Medrash, develop them, and give them the koiches that they need to be able to withstand the temptations and to integrate and to become Talmidei Chachamim Yirei Shamayim in today's generation. Today, Binyamin Zev, together with other Chaverim in the Beis Medrash, go back to the Mesivta, to the high school, and they learn with the high school boys, mashpia them, and give back what they received from the yeshiva.
So my son Yisachar was learning in Mesivta at Beis Medrash already in Lakewood, and at a point where he's looking for his advanced studies and advanced learning, looking for that. Yisachar is a bacher who has a shifa for gadlus, and looking for somebody that's going to be able to bring that out. We heard tremendous things about the Clifton Yeshiva, their Shiva Befrat, second Seder of Nasan Levine is Shmoi Hilach Lefanov. And I just felt, doing a little research, more than a little research, that dynamic that Yisachar would be able to gain from the Yeshiva, from the Sviva, from the Bochrim, the tremendous elevated learning that we heard that the Yeshiva Gedolah of Clifton offers. We felt it was a terrific place for Yisachar to continue steig. Besides the learning that we heard of the Yeshiva, one of the things that was a big attraction to us was we heard how much the Yeshiva, the Ibegegebenkeit of the Yeshiva, that the Bochrim are invited to his house for Sudas. And that's not just a place to go eat on, we understand it's a place where they see the way the Yeshiva ferzach. And he's been writing the Bochrim even in times when they're not in the Yeshiva setting, so to say, but in his house. And the Sudas, besides the Yeshiva, what the Yeshiva provides on a tremendous basis, but the ability to have that relationship by the Yeshiva, by the Sudas, by the Yeshiva, and learn so much from him on an individual basis is a tremendous thing that we saw and attracted us for Yisachar to come learn.
So we've known the Mesivta really since the very beginning. I remember when they first set up the building, came into the building and seeing the base medrash starting out, and it looked so big, so empty, and today we come and we see the kol Torah of every seat taken, the Bochrim learning with Geschmack, and it's a beautiful thing to see how the whole school, the whole yeshiva has really developed and grown in a way we could not have imagined 13 years ago. We're very excited to dedicate a classroom. We feel we owe so much to the yeshiva. Our son learned here and grew and developed into be a wonderful Ben Torah. He came in as a young boy and he left as a bacher with a plan, with a drive, and Baruch Hashem, much of his hatzlacha since then, I think, really comes from the yeshiva.
So my son Shmuel Baruch was not the first class, but he was one of the earlier classes in the Mesivta, and I had the pleasure of spending many nights, night Seder learning with him over 4 years, seeing him really be matzliach, gain tremendously from the Rabbeim, and then go on with Rabbi Schwartz to spend another 3 years in the yeshiva base medrash with Rabbi Schwartz, Rabbi Levine, and see it develop into really a tremendously intense and successful Makom Torah. And Baruch Hashem, that foundation really has stood with him. I think that those are really the products the Mesivta was able to deliver and send forth to the future, and they should have much hatzlacha continuing in the future. So my wife and I decided to invest in the future of the yeshiva and the Mesivta, having seen what it was able to do, even in its infancy for our family, and seeing how the Passaic community Clifton community has grown so tremendously that there's clearly a need for there to be a place for a Talmidim in Mesivta, Yeshiva Gedolah, to be able to develop, and we felt this was a very important step forward for the community. And as a result of that, we decided that it would be an appropriate legacy for my dear mother-in-law, Mrs. Roseanne Rosenthal, blessed memory, for us to put this dedication on one of the classrooms in the Mesivta that will be a crucible from which we'll send forth many more Talmidim in the community.